everyone, it's Melanie here with Vintage Hill Studio. Welcome to my channel today. I have a repurpose project taking this vintage hanky and turning it into an envelope. I'm going to simply add a little bit of Mod Podge to stiffen it up a bit, and I've got a little bit of wax paper under here because it is fairly thin and it's old. You can see it's got spots and some age things going on here. So I'm going to use my Mod Podge, as I said, to kind of stiffen this up. This will make it more paper-like when it dries. So I set it aside to dry, and you can see how it's kind of a starchy stiffness. Next, I'll be bringing over my Martha Stewart scoring board, and I'm going to be making a 4-bar envelope. This is a 7.5 by 7.5 inch square, and I'm going to position this on my vintage hanky to see if I could get more than one out of here, but I can unfortunately only get one, so I will use the excess for another project. So I need to cut a 7.5 by 7.5 inch square. I measured that off, cut it out with scissors, and then I'm going to place a piece of paper on each side of my Mod Podged hanky and iron out those wrinkles. And the reason I do this is because when you heat up that Mod Podge, it gets just a little bit tacky. You can see how it's sticking to the paper just a little bit. And you don't want that to stick to your iron or your ironing board, so take a measure there and use a little bit of paper. Okay, if you look at your scoring board for the 4-bar, it will show you where you need to make your score lines. So I'm going to start off doing the A score lines and the B score lines, and you just follow the instructions there. This is a regular bone folder. I didn't know if this would work or not, but because I used the Mod Podge and it has a little bit of heft to it, like paper, I can see my score lines. So this worked out surprisingly well. I'm going to just rotate that and do all 4 of my score lines, and then we'll move right along with making this envelope. Now this vintage hanky gave me quite a bit of heartburn trying to figure out how to repurpose this into something that could be shared. So I was going to originally do like that origami dress that you can fold, and it works well on paper, but it didn't work well with a hanky because the hanky is actually 13 by 13. I guess I could cut it smaller and try to do a dress at one point too. I might do that a little later. Anyway, I went with the idea of doing this envelope, and you can see as I crease along those score lines just using my finger, it kind of holds its shape very well. So that was a plus, another little surprise. And to really seal the deal here, I will bring over those 2 sheets of paper and give this a light press with that iron again. That's just a little craft iron that I picked up at Walmart, and it works great for these little projects. Just in case I do get some residue on it, it's not my good iron, it's just a craft iron. So there you can see my nice and neat little envelope. So I'm just going to take a little of my Aleene's tacky glue here. This dries really fast, and just glue down those bottom 2 sides of the triangle there. That's all I need to do. And then I'm going to make an insert, a little card insert for a birthday card, because I like the way this envelope looked on the front and the back. So I didn't really want to adhere it down on a card front. So I decided to put a card inside this envelope. And then I'll put both of them inside a secondary envelope, and that will be the card itself. So you can see the finished card there. That will tuck right into this hanky envelope. And that finishes my project for the week. I hope you get inspired to look at some old linens you might have laying around and use your scoring board to help you determine if you can make a little envelope out of it. If you do that, I think you will be as pleasantly surprised as I was. Thank you so much for dropping by today. If you want to leave a comment, give me a thumbs up, become a subscriber. That would be wonderful. I enjoyed having you over on my channel and hope to see you again next week. And happy crafting, everyone!